Firestone here from Elite Ocean View Realty, and as always, just bringing you some local businesses here in the Sunset area. I'm so excited to share with you guys Olivia from OEC Consulting, and she's going to share a little bit about her business and what she does and what's going on. So Olivia, tell me a little bit about your business. Describe it for us.
Hi, thank you, Eric, for having me. Yes, as you mentioned, I'm the owner of OEC Consulting. So we are a Miami-based international consulting company. We work in PR, branding, styling, dressing, you name it. We're sort of a one-stop shop for your creative needs is what we like to think about it.
Very cool. So how did you get started in this, like branding and all of that stuff?
So I can't talk about now without going all the way back to the beginning where my
Yeah, we don't have time for that. Yeah.
I'll make it really short though.
That'll be a much longer segment, right?
Yes, no, I'll give you the edit, which is what we're known for. So the edit is when I graduated college, I got an opportunity to work as a fashion assistant for the creative director of Vogue Online. It used to be called style.com.
Yeah.
So I wore many hats there, and as I like to call it, that was my boot camp into fashion. You know, I learned really what it meant to work with some of the best creative minds, and also the demands that they had. And at a young age, you know, in your 20s, some of the things that you prioritize may not be what your boss prioritizes, but I learned to rise to the occasion. And I made it through, and it's actually where I coined the hashtag that I use right now to brand a lot of my projects. It's called Running in Heels, because the expectation was always you have to, you know, put 110% out there, looking good, a little bit ahead of the trends all together. So that's why I call that Running in Heels.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think you're looking good for this video too. Here we're inside this pretty large walk-in closet. It's just pretty awesome. It looks like you got a lot of different products going on everywhere. You were sharing with me a little bit before, stuff from things that you've worked with clients before, right?
Absolutely. For me, it's very inspirational. You know, I love being surrounded by product. There's a story behind every product. It's the beauty, I think, of when someone comes to us. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for help to tell their story. And we really, really love the process. If you can't tell, we love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, that's the whole deal behind these interviews, right? Is so that we can actually get you all as Sunset residents, as people who live in the area, to go ahead and share your story. So I love how that ties in with what I'm trying to do here too. So fantastic.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah. So tell us, maybe you've had some like odd requests, maybe from some clients. There might be some juicy stories there. You don't have to obviously share the client's name. That would be very unprofessional. But I imagine that you get all kinds of requests from these clients that you've had throughout the years. What is some of the oddest requests you've had?
Well, Eric, you know, odd, you know, how we describe odd changes over time. You sort of become, right, conditioned to some of these requests just because, you know, the nature of the business. I used to work for the House of Escada and the House of Valentino. So I was always blessed to be surrounded by people who did have some creative requests, and we did have to think outside of the box in order to fulfill those with a smile, and, you know, and learning from them. So yes, odd. One of the oddest things was when a client of mine, for the sort of the dressing portion of our business, because we do dress some celebrities, athletes, moms, corporate figures. And she asked me, she was traveling from Miami to Paris, and she said, "Thank you for choosing these things. This is all approved. So is this all going to be in my closet tomorrow?" And I said, "Insert name, you're going to be in Paris tomorrow." And she goes, "Yeah, hanging on my hangers in my closet in my hotel room in Paris." And what I realized is she wanted me to, you know, travel with the clothes, steam the clothes, take the clothes out, style them, have the Polaroid there, and have it hanging on the hanger. And since I had done this for a boss of mine in the past before, Eric. I didn't find it that odd. I just asked her if she wouldn't mind me invoicing her for the process. She did.
Hey, sounds like a free trip to Paris. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Green light.
That's right. That's awesome. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So what else do you do besides work besides OEC Consulting?
So I love to run, Eric, and it's
Yeah,
something I did in college and I stopped. And then with the pandemic and a lot of the facilities closing, um, I had, I looked to nature. And so, okay, I started running and
that's awesome. I run around the neighborhood too. Maybe we should
you're a
run
runner?
together sometime.
Awesome.
I
Yeah,
mean,
do
you probably look like you could kill me. I mean, I barely make like a mile, and I'm trying to lug my two dogs along with me. But maybe it'll be more like we're running. We start together, and then I just see you at the finish
it. Hey, you know what? It's all about supporting each other. So you know what? It works for me.
line. Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, tell us, what do you love most about your customers?
I really, really love most is that, they really, when they come to you, they don't always know what they want. And sometimes you might think, well, that might not be so pleasant. And actually, it's because we're both discovering at the same time, or sometimes their teams involved in order to execute some of this branding. And sometimes they need photo shoots, and then we get creative directors involved. And so it's really that process. I mean, it's scary. If you think about it, it's a brand and the brand doesn't know where they're going. Or
Mm,
usually small businesses, and they're entrusting you with something very important, which is their story. We take
yeah.
that seriously. And so, but we have a lot of fun. At the end of the day, we daydream together. That's what we're doing, right? Creating a brand is daydreaming and then executing that idea. So that for us is the most fun part.
Sounds
And
a lot like shopping for a home, right? You're like getting to meet with the client for the first time. They don't really necessarily know what they want. Then you like show them all these different ideas and products, and then hopefully it meshes well with the budget that they intend to spend on their products. And then you're having fun throughout the process, right? And then they
absolutely.
get to go off and create their stories without you, kind of deal.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's so cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. So obviously the pandemic like changed so many people's lives and the way we've done business. How has 2021 been for you? And where do you see your business going into the future?
Yeah, thank you. With the pandemic, there was the silver lining to that was that we we had to connect on Zoom more. But what did that do? It opened doors to clients
Mhm.
nationally. So that's why I'm always setting my alarm for different time zones. I think I even asked you, is it Eastern Standard? What time zone are we working in?
Yes.
Because I'm in different time zones all day long. And so, but that's beautiful to connect with different people. But at the same time, there's always that challenge because over Zoom, I'm used to seeing my clients face to face and having that personal connection. So, I think checking in more has been something we've been doing. Um, we actually have like, well, sometimes we'll just schedule a call just to play a game, just to get to know each other a little bit more, because there's so much that comes with that the unspoken word when you're working with a client, and the nuances. So that's been, a blessing. And then we have to rise to it, right? I mean,
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. My two passions are music and homes. And I once had a choir director who was coming in to work with my other choir, and he said, you can tell a lot about the choir when they're singing, but you can tell so much more about the client about the choir when they're not singing. And I was like, oh man, that's so interesting. But it sounds just like the same thing with you, right? I mean, when you're discovering somebody's brand and they don't know where they want to go with, you can tell a lot from like their initial impulses. But then as you're getting to know them better, then you start to really truly find out what makes them authentically them. And when you're developing brand, that's really like the intent, isn't it? Find their
absolutely. And
authenticity.
along with that comes communication style.
Mhm.
Um, Everyone has their preference, and I I accommodate that. So it just makes for a better, work environment. So that's, that's part of the whole thing. And it's definitely worthwhile. The time you put in, you see put back, just like in any project, right, Eric?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you again so much for taking the time and speaking with me today, Olivia. It's been a great pleasure getting to know you and getting to know a little bit about your business. And if you guys want to follow Olivia, we're going to post her contact info right here down below. And then you can post her Instagram, follow her on Instagram as well. If you're on Instagram, are you on Instagram?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
All right, wonderful, great. So you'll post follow her on Instagram here, and any other types of contact info you want to give us?
Yeah, sure. I'll share my website, and I'll definitely share my phone number, my office number.
Awesome.
And for your viewers, I do normally offer this, but a complimentary consultation, because it's really important for us to know, just as it is for a possible client to know, is this the right fit? Can you execute my project? And 15 minutes usually will do the trick. We'll know what direction we can or can't go.
It's fantastic. And thank you so much for giving a free consultation to all the viewers.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's really been a pleasure.
Likewise, it's been a great pleasure as well. Ciao.
Bye.